got married. It's so many questions that they'll always have. You know what I'm saying? It's like they'll never be satisfied with just being pointed in a direction. And even if they do get a if they feel that they have acquired some sort of sense of identity through their methods, which generally is just DNA and hearsay from white people, because they just don't seem interested. Yeah, Mom, thank you. They just don't seem interested in actually finding out from one generation to the next how it is that they got here. And I find that to be kind of disturbing. It's very immature, if you ask me, and it's extremely irresponsible that people are having such a hard time looking in on their folks. It's kind of like just a bunch of angry children that'll never grow up. It's like a squad of people that they reject what's good for them. It's like they just reject what's good for them, and not even understanding that even if they feel like that they are African, they're not really into Africa either. They're more meddlesome in our affairs than they are with building over there in the nations in which they say they descend from. But I haven't seen anybody with a grandma that makes them foo-foo. I haven't seen them deal with any of some of the things that we deal with, some of the things that we hold valuable, even with them being from across the continent, across the Atlantic. They should still be involved and submerged in some of those affairs with their own people. I don't think how it goes over their head.
I don't think Pan-Africans understand what it really means to be an African, because it's actually based on lineage too. Like, you can't just decide to just randomly say I'm an African if you don't even know, like, everything that you just said just now. Like, you don't know the grandparent or the birthday. You don't actually have an ancestor that you could connect, to an African nation. You don't know the nation that you descend from. Like I had said, that ancestry is based on continuous lineage and location. That's how Africans define being an African. Like, if you're from the Fulani or Hausa, you gotta have an ancestor. You gotta locate a grandparent that's from there. You can't just assume based on a narrative that was created by Europeans in their school system that everybody came from Africa. You a West African descendant. Just because we try to disenfranchise you and denationalize you. That's why we said that in school. Your Black American self came from Africa, even though our grandparents got a completely different idea of history and lineage compared to what was taught in school. Like, our family history, our grandparents' knowledge of who they are is completely different from the history that white people teach in school. And so that's what this is. That's what Pan-Africans have to actually understand, that history is not defined by I think they actually just believe white people history, to be honest. To me, unless they say because they got institutions up, that's what makes them being an African, absolute, or it is what it is, because you got these institutions. Instead of them trying to defeat the institutions and destroy them and pick them apart, like, they just keep it in place and just want to put the black face on top of it and just make it end all be all. You know what I mean? I don't think they have no intentions on trying to challenge it, and because they speak so much against white supremacy, but yet you continue to advance the principles of that makes white supremacy exist, which is teaching you that you're a foreigner, which is an immigrant teaching the actual indigenous people that they immigrants. But yet you uphold these characteristics of white supremacy, but yet you against it so much. That's all Pan-Africans talk about: white supremacy this, white supremacy that. But yet your basis of being an African comes from so-called white supremacy. That's really crazy to me. I just think that they don't think that thinking on their own is inferior to white people. Like, they don't think that they can actually build their family tree themselves. Either they think that they're not capable, or I don't know, maybe it's something that they have a disorder going on up here, because it's really a cult-like thinking to just think that you're African just because, without doing no real research with no family connection to it. It's just...
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy to just, attach themselves. They don't even have any questions about bloodline. They don't have any questions about who was their grandfathers, who were their grandmothers, who were their great aunties. They don't have any questions, any interest. They don't show a genuine interest. Now, that is just for the Pan-Africans that find themselves here straggling and struggling here in the Americas, the ones that are unable to seek any remedy or do any type of soul searching. I can't say the same thing for the actual continental Africans. They are a lot closer knit to their families. They're very tribal as well. And you definitely see the difference. That's just for, particularly from what I've seen, that's just the stragglers that are here that are still uncertain as to who they descend from. It's really incredible. It's quite remarkable that at this day and age, well, let me just say this. I think that a lot of that's going to change with their initiative to send their asses back home, 2019 Ghana. Nobody's going to be mad. You know how people always complain about taxpayers' dollars going to welfare recipients or taxpayers' dollars going. Nobody is going to be upset by sending these people back home, which they say that they belong to. Nobody's
giving the land away to white people. You let them have it all to themselves. So shit, they gonna try to give you everything you need. First class trip to Ghana. If you need it. You know what I mean? It's like, and for us, none of us gonna be mad. Because I think whoever believe that they're African, whoever thinks that they're African, if you're really African, that's the ones that's leaving. Whoever leave, that must be the ones that's really African. Right. But at the same time, if you're gonna leave your family behind, it's just gonna be this recent generation.
Peace and power. I am listening to this as I clean. I just wanted you all to be aware of this is good info, but we aren't the only, we aren't the only. Europeans are not the only people that colonized us. I hear video after video about the colonizers, especially after the movie Black Panther came out. It went viral. It literally. The only people who really referring to the Europeans as colonizers were the people that were actually researching and studying. And it's not something that we made up to be offensive. But when you read into those old books and reading through the history, they call themselves colonizers. So all of a sudden in the newer generations, everything that you say is literally going to offend somebody. Every single word. So I just want to bring awareness to the fact that we were not just colonized by Europeans. We were colonized by large groups and sums of people. We were colonized by the Irish and the British and et cetera, et cetera. Even the Moors colonized some of our lands. So just don't be thrown off by that. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish listening.
Right.
They're going to be jacking resources from the Africans. They're going to get a real rude awakening. Reality going to really hit them fast. Like when you realize, bro, you going over there, they don't have too much space over there. They ain't got too much resources for you to just be coming over there because you feel this emotional attachment to miseducation. They need their resources. What are you coming over there for? You must be going over there to help them build, because if you just going over there just because you want to be in Africa, bro, they gonna, at some point, they're going to be having a witch hunt on you to try to get you out of there and send you back to America, or they just going to kill you dead on sight. Because you still got civil wars. You got people that's not too far removed from civil wars in Africa, and they fight civil wars because of resources in Africa. They source resources, so shit, I'm about to fight this other person that's trying to take this from my family, who's also a fellow African, a fellow Nigerian, or a fellow Sudanese, a fellow,
excuse me,
fellow person. I don't know what is it, Chadian or Chad, the people of Chad, a fellow person in Chad. Right. They still got civil wars happening every now and then that breaks out because it's about resources. That's right. It ain't because of no colonization. The white people taught them to hate each other. They need resources. So you going over there and just taking a grip on something because of some emotional attachment to white miseducation. because of this white African-centered theories and white African-centered history that you've been taught. You want to go over there and try to steal resources from Africans because you selfish. That's like a colonizer mentality to think that you could just go somewhere without nobody permission. Like you just want to go to Ghana. Like Africans didn't initiate. You have some African leaders that's in cahoots. They need some money. Them Ghanaian leaders, but the people of Ghana not initiating that. They not giving you no permission. But I think the Ghanaian leaders probably told the people of Ghana, look, we could get some money.
And he is misspeaking again. Ghana actually invited us, so-called us, those who refer to themselves as African American. Ghana put out a notice and said, come home and we'll give you a certain amount of money. So a lot of people are moving, to utilize that money that they're offering. My bad.
From this. And when they get here, we're going to be taxing the shit out of them. They're going to have to go to work ASAP. As soon as they get to Ghana, that's what's going to be happening. Like, you ain't going to have no free ride just trying to get to Ghana just because you don't feel like you in Africa. That ain't going to work like that. You're going to have to work and do something to improve the society of Ghana. Otherwise, they're going to kill you or they're going to send you back to America the same way you got there. And that's if. And the crazy part about that, if you're going to Ghana, you don't even understand like the political or jurisdiction, consequences of that. Like you decide you're going to go to Ghana, you might not be able to get back into America after that. So
that's
once
right.
you realize how messed up it is for you over there, it's not what you thought it was. Now you're going to become running back home to America where your grandma is because you realize, bro, I really got to work. They might decide to draft you. Ghana going to put you in the army and you're going to have to do some real shit that you ain't never done before, that you ain't much built like to do. You ain't much do it in America, but when you get to Ghana, you got to do that because you're taking up their resources. You're going to have to actually be
don't knock on their door.
And they don't understand it. They just think, we about to go to Ghana, you hear me? Nah, dog, you got to really do something over there.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no free ride.
That's right. They're going to have to find themselves useful over there. And like I said the other day, if they're nothing muffins here, the chances are they will be nothing muffins when they get over there. And again, you made a really good point about the resources. The resources, what are they going to do? Especially if they have small children. Do you know what type of culture shock that's going to be? I mean, nothing wrong with seeing brown people when they get to the next place, but just the simple creature comforts. Just the simple creature comforts and the accessibility and the availability of things that we have here that they won't have there. And then to get over there and then see women bleaching their skin and, and they're over there wearing weaves and all the things that they say that they don't like about us American women, they're going to go over there and find themselves in a whole different type of scenario where they're going to have a lot of explaining to do. They're going to have a lot of explaining to do. And again, as I indicated before, their oppression is going to come from the people that look like them.
Right, because they foreigners. So now they got the authority to oppress you. They don't have nothing. You don't have nothing to do with them. They ain't got no type of sentimental connection to you, no type of lineal connection to you. You just another brown person. You were just a person with brown skin. So it's like you coming from America. They don't know why you really coming. They don't know what you really stand for. They don't know what you about. So it's like, I could go ahead and oppress you if I want to. There's like nothing stopping me from oppressing you and doing what I want. The same police brutality that you thought was bad in America, you about to go get that in Ghana because they don't know you. You don't relate to them. You're not the same as them. You look different from them. You got a different energy from them. Like your characteristic, your physiognomy is completely different from the Ghanaian. They gonna notice that. They gonna sniff that out as soon as you step foot over there. The same way you sniff it out, like when you see an African in your neighborhood or in your downtown business area with their little table set up, they merchant space set up. You feel some type of way when you see them. Like you don't even connect with the Africans over here. You know what I mean? You don't even connect with them when they live in here. You don't try to go connect with some Nigerians or Ghanaians when they move to Texas or different places across America. You don't even connect with them over here, but You want to go to Africa just because it's the idea of Africa. You're not going over there for the people.
Right.
They really just think like some, I don't know, some entitled children. That's some entitlement. Like, that's really crazy that they think that they're just entitled to go to Africa. Nobody invite you. You think you could just be over there and just because you want to.
Right.
They really feel entitled. They talk about white privilege. That's a privileged mindset. They gonna start calling that Black American privilege when they get over there.
That's right.
They gonna start seeing all them different terms that show that how the Ghanaian or how Africans think of them, because they already calling them Akata. That's what they gonna call it, Akata privilege.
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. I'm just thinking about the children, like. Are the children going to deal with that culture shock? They didn't line anything up. I mean, this is not something that they have used their constituents or their politicians, their Black caucuses. They haven't utilized any of those avenues to kind of cushion the way their transition. For instance, there's no jobs guaranteed. Their schooling. None of those things are going to be the same as they know it.
Like, they're not even talking about those things. Like,
and they won't have citizenship. They're not concerned with those things at all. They have no buffer at all. They have no buffer.
Sad.
They have no buffer.
That should be the topic of discussion. Those are the three priorities: job, citizenship, and what was the other thing you mentioned?
Education and healthcare. Serious.
These conversations, they just thinking Ghana, Africa, move to Africa, back to Africa. But you're not actually looking at the political aspects or economic aspects of it. Your day-to-day livelihood over there. You're not even planning none of that out. You just so caught up on the idea of Africa. I think the children are going to be bullied, though. I think the children are really, it's not only just going to be a culture shock. I think the other children, because children, you know how children have their own mind, that they're going to do what they want.
That's right.
Children are very free-minded. So when Africans have their own African children have their own connection to their culture, they're going to see some random Black American children pull up to their continent, and they're going to start, all kind of name calling. Start talking about them like you thought bullying is bad in America. Imagine you go somewhere that's foreign to you. They already look at you as foreigners. So imagine how you subjecting your children to bullying and abuse. You creating that type of environment for your child because you want to go move to Africa on some Akata privilege. You want to subject your children to bullying and emotional abuse that they're gonna have to deal with every day. Unless you're gonna be around your child.
That's right.
So I just really feel bad for the children. Like you didn't even consult with your child. Like you didn't even have this discussion with your child because you know your child not gonna be with it. The child gonna be like, "What is we going over there? We gonna be leaving grandma behind."
Right. That's right.
So they're really creating an environment of bullying and emotional abuse for their child.
Right. Right. You could absolutely tell that this wasn't very well thought out on their part. Well, if they're not considering self-governing here, they're not going to consider it over there. So I guess it wasn't thought of at all.
You ain't about to govern yourself at all over there. You ain't got no say. You got to do whatever Ghana say do.
That's right. With no protection, it's because they're not offering them citizenship. They're only offering them the right to live there. That's it.
They want the money. Because they want the money. Ghana, they could shoot you down on sight if they want to. When they ain't gonna go to jail. They just don't. It's probably gonna be a human rights issue. You just gonna have the United Nations have a discussion about it at their little building in New York. But ain't nothing gonna be done about it because you don't exist over there. You don't even exist in the United States. So you think you about to exist in Ghana? Right. You legally dead in the eyes of the law in America, and that you think you all of a sudden you gonna legally exist in the eyes of Ghana over the people of the land. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
There's going to be all sorts of civil wars, all sorts of, and this might be like another situation like Liberia, like the so-called Pan-African / Americans might get over there and try and bully those people. It might work for a little while because they're, you know, a different type of, you know, craftiness or cleverness for a little while. But the gangs and stuff, like the gang banging and just those things over there, it's completely turned up to a whole nother level. Like, good luck calling 911. What are they going to do? They don't have those action plans. They don't have, they certainly don't have the rights of citizens. So, you know, and the other day I broke down a little bit of the Constitution for Ghana, and for the people that expatriates of Ghana, once they leave there, they can never come back and get their citizenship. So that is going to be something that they really need to iron out. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, I'm really looking forward to having a little more space and a lot more room to breathe without being oppressed, right? Because they are oppressors. A lot of these Pan-Africans, I don't think they realize how much a lot of bias has been completely displayed. The division, the bias has been exhibited in amounts that I've never had so much tension with so-called white people as I have with these Pan-Africans. And I think that speaks volumes. And I'm 44. It's not like I'm young and don't really have, you know, any life experience, but I have experienced more bias and prejudice with Pan-Africans.
And I can say, I second that. I have had more resistance with people that look like me than I have with any other group. And it's sad to say, but it's facts. Facts.
They want the same life that Europeans have and just want to switch places. So you see that feel of oppression from them, because that's people that just want to switch places, and that's people that identify, they got those values of what they think liberation is. They got these values from the European hierarchy. So what they see as liberation or see as freedom, or I don't know, the right to self-identify, they're getting these values from Europeans, from institutional values of Europeans. So I don't think there's anybody that's cut from like a street cloth. There ain't nobody from the streets that's Pan-Africans that be, you know, that got those oppressive vibes.
Right.
I don't see nobody from the hood. That's what's even more crazy to me. I don't see nobody from the hood trying to go back to Africa, trying to go to Africa or go to Ghana. That ain't nobody from the hood trying to do that shit.
Right. That's right.
So I don't think that's really our people. Like, that ain't nobody that really have, like, we're not the same people. I think that really just exposes we're not the same people.
Yeah, we're not the same.
It's a good thing that has happened.
Right.
It'll really expose who's who. And it'll put us in a position to build how we supposed to build as Aborigines. So it's a good thing that it's happening, especially with us, with our awareness, you know, like the conversation that we have, and we can actually put it into proper perspective. That is the new American colonization society. That is, you know, that they're not talking about jobs, citizenship, and education. You know, that nobody will be held accountable if anything happens to you, and that your child won't be subjected. They definitely will be subjected to bullying. So it's a good thing that's happened, because initially, you know, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear nothing about people, this HR 1242.
1242.
So it's like, but, you know, now that we talking about it, it's a good thing that it's happening, because we just basically ironed out all of the cons, because there's no pros in this. We're basically telling you this is what's going to happen. You don't have no job. You ain't got no citizenship. You ain't got no way to educate your child. Nothing. None of this is coming with this. You just want to go live over there because it's Africa. Because you got this little fantasy of what Africa is, but that's not the real world. You never lived there before. You've seen these things based on how John Henry Clark or Dr. Ben or Yvonne Van Sertima or Renuka Rashidi and what's his name, Chief Anna Diop. You hearing about Africa based on how they described it, but they don't. They the ones that got degrees and they live in the suburbs in America, and you letting them tell you about Africa.
That's right. And then even if they allow them to be able to build their businesses there, what Africans, continental Africans, want to work for the Katas, as they call them, right? What structures are they going to be able to have where the the actual citizens of Ghana are going to be looking forward to, being their employees in that aspect? I don't know how this shit's gonna work out, but I know there's going to be tons of things that change over here for us. And I think that the 2019 push, knowing that in 2020 we will be able to identify our nations that we descend from in greater detail than ever, and the fact that we have control over it is to what is actually going to be documented about us going forward, in which money and services are now going to be allocated to our children, our progenitors, in the communities in which we live. And now that we will start moving some of these foreigners out, I think it's going to be time to talk business with the initial colonizers that were here. They're going to have to get them out of the way because they know that we know who we are at this point. They're going to have to separate the oil from the water, which is the American Indian from the Pan-African now, and they're going to have to deal with us. And they're going to make sure that the Africans that were able to come over here
I'm doing a video
from 1960s, from that 1965 Immigration Act up until now, they are going to have to step aside. And they're going to have to step aside because the Indian is now stepping up to the plate, and we're putting our crown on, and we're going to sit down on our throne, and we're going to start calling the shots. We are going to start dealing with these contracts that we've had that existed long before they got here.
That's right. They doing us a favor.
They are.
These African niggas out. They need to hide. So I mean, we need our Aboriginal jurisdiction back, and the only way that's gonna happen is if we have these Pan-Africans to not distract us no more by not being.
Right. That's right. And it's going to be great because that's going to also set the precedent for a lot of Europeans knowing that they don't have the support of, the skin folk here being the fucking, the thorn in our side or the boil on our ass. You know what I'm saying? That they have absolutely become being a lapdog for these oppressors, being the liaison in order to participate in our oppression. So I'm super excited. I know this is gonna be the hottest topic for a very long time because we got some time to prepare for all the things that we're looking to do. And now that we are interested in self-governing, now that we are interested in our political well-being, I think that we got a good shot. It's gonna be looking good for the American Indian. And I was speaking with Ad Power earlier, and he made a very interesting point that this is just going to be the right time. Like the timing is everything with our people, and I completely agree with that. The timing is everything. That we are the ones that are empowered, and we are the ones with the information. We're the ones with the knowledge. We're the ones with the records, and we're the ones with the guts to make sure that we can see this through. We can see this through. Collectively, I think it's awesome, and we're putting ourselves in a very good position to make sure that they put some respect on our name. I'm so excited about it. So
you got me excited now because before, like I said, I wasn't really like, bro. If I hear this shit one more time, I'm gonna just do something serious to him. Like I was really just tired because it was just such a bandwagon feel. Like everybody just just talking about it, but not even. But now we really evaluate it, put it in proper perspective. So it's not even much a bad thing no more. Now that we reflected on it, it's a good thing. It's supposed to have. I think it'll be the last time African American will be in use. Like I think next year it's gonna be the last time. After that's over, after we get them people out the way to go to Ghana, I think African American not gonna even much be used no more because we'll have the proper. We'll have the enough information and enough people to realize that they're Indians to put that back into into place to restore the Indian, to restore the Aborigine in society, and with the actual structure that's not being distracted by anybody trying to, Africanize us and call immigrants in our own land.
That's right.
That's a great thing.
One significant thing that is also going to be, they may want to watch out for is, I can get in a car right now and drive to another country. I can go to California if I want to. I can come to Louisiana if I want to, without any issue. You think they'll be able to leave Ghana and just mosey on over to Nigeria for the weekend? Are they going to be able to leave Ghana and feel like they're going to go have some, hummus in Libya for, summer vacation and shit like that? They're not going to have those options.
They're going to have detention centers. Now that you bring that up, they're going to have detention centers like they have for Hispanics and these Spanish conquistador babies over here. They're going to have detention centers. If they try to do that, I think in general, they're going to have detention centers for those that move to Ghana. They don't even realize, it's not going to be no butterflies and unicorns over there.
That's right.
So I think it's definitely going to have some detention centers in effect. If the slightest thing that they do, it could be something. Oh, they could just push somebody. Just because you put some hands on a Native Ghanaian, they're gonna throw you in a detention center. In a little so-called FEMA camp that you were just hyping up over here, that's fake and was never gonna happen. They gonna actually have that over there because you're a foreigner.
Right.
You have no meaning to them. You have no value, no resource to them other than commerce.
Right.
You got to build a society. If you don't build our society, we're gonna have to throw you in a detention center, or you got to go back to America. With the plea, you got to beg America to take you back after you just expatriated over to Ghana.
Right, but there's this one thing. Now that we are interested in polity and self-governing, and we know that we are shock rollers, I'm going to vote against coming back. There is no coming back.
Yeah, so that's why it's very important for us to have our genealogy in order and our Aboriginal mindset and Aboriginal nation in order, because then that gives us the power to not take them back, to keep them in Ghana.
Right.
You better go take yourself to Egypt somewhere. You better go live over there or go live in South Africa. And there's no way you should be able to come to America after you leave here. After you made the decision to give up. You disrespected your grandma. You actually left your elders that you have, remained. You decided to leave them behind. For that alone, you should not be allowed to come back to America. You didn't even much want to build with them while you was here, but you actually decided to leave them in the hood. You hear me? Unremorsefully, unapologetically, like you say, I'm apologetic African. You apologetic immigrant to Africa.
That's right.
They're not thinking this through at all.
I don't know. Again, it's I just see so many things that we'll be able to address for decades and periods of time that we were, we had to just kind of suck it up. But you know what? The beautiful thing is we are so resilient and so spectacular that even in this downtime, this so-called downtime, we have taken the time to learn ourselves, to learn our ancestors, to learn our history, to learn the law, to learn governing, to learn politics, all of these things that we have put in the hands of our oppressors, or we're taught to expect them to do it for us, which was much to our detriment. We have now taken control. We have taken this downtime to build ourselves up. And the buildup is going to be absolutely crazy. The whole world is going to have to reckon with this. The entire globe is going to have to reckon with what, the energy, the main source, the plug. We've always been the plug. It's always been us. Yep. It started with us and it's going to end with us. And that's not a bad thing. And to the favor of these Pan-Africans, these disrespectful ass Pan-Africans, much to their favor, we are the soul people. So there's still going to be some, I don't want to say leverage, but there's still going to be a mild compassion that's available, that even though, you know, we say what we say about them, we would still extend that type of that 1 iota of compassion towards them because of us being the soul people.
Yeah.
Because of us being the soul people. So I know there's a few people that have some questions. Do you mind answering a few questions for the people in the chat, Johnny?
Don't mind at all. Let's go.
I'm gonna tell y'all now, if y'all Moors call up here, y'all Panfides call up here, I'm gonna disrespect the shit out of y'all. We're not doing that tonight. You're not gonna call here and try and take no shots at none of the Indians tonight. I'm having me some margaritas. My mama made them. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to wow out on you. I'm going to disrespect the shit out of you.
I could eat them up too. I mean, and I'll do it scholarly. I could pick them apart with the things that they do.
That's right.
Like very things that they saying. You know, so it don't matter to me because I've been through it like recently. Got into it recently with them. You know, over the ideology or over the information, the things that they stand on, just basically proved it to be false. So it don't matter to me.
Right. You know, I want to give them a shot. I don't mind being fake and stuff like that, but that disrespectful shit, it's not going to fly. It's not going to fly at all.
Yeah.
It's not going to fly. So, call beautiful 480-744-2636. 44636. What's going on? I gotta cancel. Give us a call and have a good old conversation with the beloved Johnny Aborigine. I'm telling y'all, y'all better make sure y'all buy them textbooks. That's gonna be the hot ticket. Don't buy them babies, no Jordans. You're gonna buy these textbooks for them. This is what they need. Okay, someone's calling, but my phone kind of froze a little bit. I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, it was kind of jumping, like the audio.
My phone just completely froze. I can't. I'm trying to open up the text message. See that the phone was ringing, but to turn it off and restart it. Okay, hold on 1 second. I know who that is. There we go. There. Okay, hold on 1 second. Here we go. Halito, beloved, what's happening? Yes, hold on 1 second. Let me get you on speaker. There you go. What's happening, beloved? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Phoenix? What up, Johnny? How you?
That's Tony.
Yeah, I knew that had to be Tony. Yeah. Was it Tony?
What's that?
Yeah, I ain't got the video running right now. I'm on the phone right now. I was watching y'all presentation on the phone. Yo, I appreciate what y'all talking about. The presentation is great. You know, good look on the shout out to A4. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a lot of work to do and all of that. Definitely, our people, definitely got to get their minds right out here. You know what I'm saying? These Africans is not over here playing with us. Like, these Pan-Africans, true indeed, they're a problem. They keep us stupid. You see what I'm saying? But the actual Africans, Phoenix, you were just telling me earlier, how they colonizing Staten Island right now.
That's right.
Even when they're in Minneapolis, already got a colony over there.
Yes, they do.
Africans coming over here, straight from Nigeria, Ghana, whatever. You got a husband and wife down there, right? Becoming CEOs, correctional officers right there in Texas. You see what I'm saying? So people got to keep in mind the caste system. Because in the caste system, you're a pyramid scheme, right? You know, at the bottom, you got the peasants and slaves.
That's right.
You got the soldier class. Soldier class is equivalent to not only the military, but you got law enforcement. And the ranges of law enforcement. Imagine, can anybody out there with POs, parole officer, probation officer, imagine having an African as your PO.
That's right. That's right.
How would you feel about having a Nigerian as a PO?
That's what's happening. I've seen that. I've visited a few people in some of these facilities, and I've seen them being bossed around, mistreated, specifically by foreigners, and more specifically by people of the Nigerians. Specifically Nigerians. Now they are holding a lot of these positions. They are captains in these jails, and a lot of these facilities need to be shut down. Rikers Island, just specifically the namesake of it all needs to be shut down. But this is how out of control we have allowed the foreigner to get rooted in our home. A lot of this, but you know, the jig is up now. Those aren't the ones that have to leave. Those are the ones that actually have the visas to be here. But we have to take it upon ourselves to petition that there's only specific places that they can work. They don't need to be in those places. We have not vetted them. We have to even protect our prisoners. They have rights. They have rights. We have to protect our American Indian prisoners as well. That's a good point you made there.
So Phoenix, let me add this to the equation too, right? So earlier this year, I want to say first quarter 2018, one of our American mothers contacted me, right? And I don't want to go a whole lot of detail, but she had a daughter like 6, 7 years old, right? Right here in New York. Okay. Now her daughter, she's in New York public schools, whatever, fighting school police. 7 years old, fighting school police. All right. Fast forward X amount of weeks, a month later, the daughter gets tranquilized at school, right? Then they take it to a mental facility somewhere in Brooklyn, I think it was, right? Take it to a little 7-year-old girl. The facility, this institution is ran by Africans. And so the 7-year-old girl is in a room with males. Psychological disorders and issues, right? By herself. Various age males, all right? And they tranquilize her again.
Oh my goodness.
Now, this is the kind of shit that's going. This is just one mother, one of our American women who had this experience. When I hear shit like this, I think about how many millions more. Experiencing whatever kind of abuses and deprivation of rights and all kinds of, you know, child treatment by these foreigners. And at the end of the day, how I see this shit, we are responsible.
That's right.
These fucking Pan-Africans, these Moors, these bootleg motherfuckers, all these years, they have contributed to our people. They are more interested in being good fucking consumers and supporting white supremacy, as Johnny said a moment ago, right?
Right.
White supremacy, right? Who the fuck is promoting us? My apologies, I get excited.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Right, you're right about that. Right about that. Yes, we're here, brother. We're here.
Oh, should I get disconnected?
No, brother, we're here. We hear you. We hear you.
Yeah, I'm excited, so I'm gonna let me calm down. You know?
It's all right.
I want to burn the internet right now. You know what I mean? But it's serious for us, though. And we got so many people out here playing about me shit. I'm getting calls from motherfuckers on the real world issues, right? They're dealing with real world issues, and they're gonna call me up talking about they just came back from Black Friday shopping and stupid shit like that. What the fuck is you talking about? You know, damn well not to be calling me talking about Black Friday, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy to me. We got real world shit going on out here. It's about to be 2019. Less than 30 days.
Right.
And we got a lot of people that need real world support and services. How many people get locked up tonight? Our people.
That's right.
How many people get paperwork on Monday to address the abuses that's going on in their community?
Our people. That's right. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, you got this thing called forces of credit, yo. Big game, right? You can forces off from any fucking jurisdiction. So, for example, like down there in Florida, right? Let's say you're in California, right? And you're in Florida, they got the same ground law, right? And so you got forces of credit, right? You can stand your ground in California.
That's right.
In Colorado, I just learned recently, they got this shit called Make My Day.
Oh, yeah.
That shit, I'm loving that. Make My Day, bro. It's my day. It's my day kind of shit.
That's right. That's right.
Scouting season is on. My apologies, y'all. Hey, I'll continue listening. Hey, much appreciation to you, Felix, Johnny. Shout out to 8482 African Africans, all about American people throughout the Americas. Scouting season on KTV. Kill for me, I'm gone. My bad.
Peace and love, beloved. Thank you.
Peace.
Halito.
Halito.
How are you?
is Dominica. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you, honey.
I can hear you.
All right. I wanted to say that I just noticed it's a lot of like misdirected anger on behalf of American Aborigines over here. And mostly the problem that I see is so-called American Aborigines over here, it's not so much as Africans, this and this and that. And I see people going in on Africans, it seems like more than Europeans. And it's just like, I mean, like they were discussing in the chat, we still have people celebrating holidays and things like that. You still have people who just don't want to take any type of correction. They're very imbalanced. And I've seen it happening among the Aboriginal community online, for example. So it's just like to sit here and put everything off on Africans when a lot of the issues internally is just projection to me.
I think it's a
real issue instead of trying to put it off on everybody else. Like you said, you know, yeah, we're the soul people, but the soul people need to start using discernment and stop accepting everybody in.
Oh, I agree, and that's going to include a lot of American Indians too. They're going to have to deal with their own tribes, especially if they are unable to communicate effectively with their other nations. I would have to agree with that. But one thing, if I can answer before Johnny gives his response, I will say I think that it is worse dealing with skin folk. We already know that the European has been the primary source of our oppression, or perhaps the orchestrator of our oppression. Let me just say that. But it is absolutely disenchanting when you have skin folk and you are expecting a certain level of respect. You're expecting a certain level of dealings with them, right? And that's just from basic understanding that we're supposed to take care of our people. And this is how we are able to make the distinction. When you have the Pan-Africans that jump in front of the moving train of the oppressor just to have a piece in our oppression or to take a nightstick to our head, I think it's 10 times worse. I think it's 10 times worse. So this is why
like you said, you're talking about Pan-Africans. I personally haven't had people straight from the continent to disrespect me. Mm-hmm. They've been respectful towards me. It's been Negroes over here who have been extremely disrespectful, who don't want to hear anything, who don't want to take any type of correction, and who will attack you first. I mean, that's just my experience. If I'm talking to other people, they have similar experiences as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I have had less unpleasurable experiences with the American Negro than I have with the one that thinks that they're foreign, which very well may be the American Negro as well. But in their mind, they think they're foreign. They act foreign, and they act like they have something, you know, like they're more privileged by being a foreign entity in my land, standing in the way of whatever it is that I'm entitled to, what my natural rights are. And I do have a serious problem with that. I'm not even gonna lie. And for quite some time, I probably suppressed it a lot more than others, but at this time, it's go time right now. So I'm not really looking to make any friends outside of the Aboriginal community in that aspect. I'm really not, because it has to be strengthened here, because this is where we are going to take it to the top with. I can't do it with foreigners. I can only do this with the American Indians. And I've started with my family. I've started with the close people around me that I know a lot about. And that's kind of what's been helping me move forward. It's a lot of things that I don't pay attention to. You got to have really tough skin in order to deal with anybody. You got to have tough skin to deal with family. You got to have tough skin to deal with the oppressors, both the European as well as the disrespectful as Pan finds. You got to have tough skin. And being that I have been able to put the armor on, I'm not really concerned with these little squabbles and shit that we have with Indians. This is something that we've been doing prior to any colonizers coming over here, prior to any invaders coming over here. We've always done that. It's what we do. It's what we do. But what's supposed to happen is once we have the occupiers and the interlopers that come over here, that's the part where we're supposed to band together and make sure that we eradicate the problem. Johnny, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, what I would add is, I think it's a jurisdiction, legal authority aspect, where it's not so much as just putting a blame on Africans. It's just been mainly based on economic and political exploitation that Africans, force on the American Indian. It's not so much that we just want to point the finger at Africans. They take advantage of the fact that the American Indian is denationalized and disenfranchised. So you'll have Africans come over here and just, disrespect you and try to usurp you, try to take over your resources. Since you're not standing up and proclaiming it as the American Indian, as the indigenous people of the land, they'll come over here thinking that they have some superior mindset, that they're better than you. Because you continue, we as a collective, we allow ourselves to be disenfranchised and denationalized as Aborigines. That's right. A jurisdictional aspect, the thing.
I get it now. It's not that, we're supposed to be separated by color and all that. Even, it's not about that. You have been denationalized. While everybody else has a nation that's still standing that they can go back to, you don't have that. They can go, if the Europeans wanted to all return to Europe, they would take them all in because it's a nation that's still standing. Versus your home has been invaded and you're not even willing to search for your ancestors' information. And then you're not willing to fight for your own nation. And you are a stranger in your own home. This is your nation. And what they showing you on the news repeatedly is you being gunned down. You being hung. You out there marching and getting tear gas and stuff like that. That's what they show repetitively. And I'm not saying that you're the only one that's out there, that there aren't other nations that join in for your fight. It's just they can go home. Right here, as long as you call yourself an African American, your home is Africa and you don't have the means to get there, nor do you have the proof to say that you belong there. And you could just start that by simply searching here. Find out who your ancestors are. The more you learn, the more it turns into like you're gonna always be learning and the information gonna change. So to where at first you're thinking about is tribes, the 12 tribes, and before that it was Christianity, and then after that is everybody want to group meditate and kumbaya. No, I'm not about the kumbaya life. I'm just not. That's something that's not gonna change. I live the way my grandmother lived. She didn't mix and mingle and have a bunch of different people in her house, period. Not even people that look like her. She did not. So that's how I live. Cordial to everybody. I'm kind to everybody. But just not with the food. I'm gonna live the way my grandmother lived. And she is still alive, 96. So it works. But what I am saying is when you're in this land, you calling yourself African, you calling yourself a foreigner, and every other foreigner in this country has a home to go back to because they still have a nation. Right here in America, you have a corporation that has taken over. And so you don't even have defense. Every other nation has an army. You don't even have a defense that a sole army that will fight for you on your land. So I just learned that about chess. With chess, you always got to have protection. You always got to protect the king. It is what it is. You don't have that protection. And you can go around and be in La La Land if you like. You're not affected until it's you. So you're directly affected. And then and only then can you see the injustice and the sense that it makes to have a nation, to have that protection. to be ruling over yourselves. And this is your lane. It's crazy that you don't think that it's weird that you're not ruling over yourself in your own lane. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, we got a lot of brown people winning judge seats and all that. That's fine and well. You got to realize these people are fighting for clout and money. And all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Bottom line. Let's move forward.
Asking questions on film and stuff like that. And interestingly enough, things like, you know, my family on my mother's side, my mother's mother and my mother's father, like that, you know, my mother's background is from Hemingway, South Carolina. All right. And, you know, we had a lot of land there historically. All right. We you know, but over time, laws had, you know, shrunk the land down, but to this day, we still own a lot of land out of Hemingway. And I have my grandmother on film telling me, I asked her, I said, you know, Grandma, you know, how do we get the land down in Hemingway? And she said, we always had it. And I said, what do you mean always? We always had the land. And like, you know, and over time, these laws and, you know, yellow tape to pretty much, red tape to pretty much hinder us, like they do us everywhere. So, you know, it's good that a lot of our people are waking up to this. You know, we got Dan Calloway out there, you know, fighting the good fight. But the countless brothers and sisters that don't have a big name and that know what's going on. I know what my family tells me. I've been on Sarnetta TV. I don't know if people feel, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, beloved. We can hear you.
All right. Am I clear? Can you hear me clearly?
Very much so, yes.
All right. So I don't know if people saw. I was on Sarnetta this past summer. We were talking casually, and you know, they were out there talking to African stuff, and you know, I was asking them questions that they couldn't answer, and then Sarnetta threw me on, and I started to talk, and then on the sideline he was calling Rapon, and he called Rapon, who was just up the street, obviously. And he came over there, and you know, I made some valid points, like, you know, we have this understanding that, you know, we have a skewed understanding of history, and that's why they keep repeatedly remixing what they're doing to us, you know, because we don't have a firm grasp on the, you know, the conceptually what they've done and what's happening in history. You know, like I put up a point where, you know, not all black people were slaves. This is something that needs to be grasped so, you know, we can move forward as a people. There were actually black slave owners. I brought that up. And you know what Rob Bourne did? He said, who are you talking about? Anthony Johnson? Right? And I was talking about South Carolina.
Wow.
South Carolina, the biggest plantation that was owned when the Civil War kicked off was owned by a black man named William Ellison, or April Ellison. You can look it up. All right, the biggest plantation in South Carolina. Now, these topics are pertinent to what's going on today because we don't understand economics and how business works. All right, so the only difference between the slave of the past and the modern day employee are labor laws. All right, so someone might say, "What do you mean I'm a slave?" So I say, "Because I go to work every day." I want people to understand this. During slavery, they gave you enough food, shelter, and clothing to survive to be able to go to work the next day. Today, most people can only afford food, shelter, and clothing enough to keep them able to survive to be able to go to work the next day. All right? The only difference between the slave and we have to keep it in context again. We live in a capitalistic society where your status determined upon your dollar. All right? So now, in this country, what determines a slave is your wage. All right? So a person that makes 1 penny below minimum wage on the books, as far as the laws are concerned, you are considered a slave. All right? When the abolitionists were fighting for slavery to be ended, when they were fighting for that and they were pushing for slavery to be ended, that's what you think? That's not what it was about. For the most part, slavery was about equal treatment. First, it was about getting the actual owned slaves equal treatment to that of the indentured servants, because that was one step up to the caste system. And then from there, like the regular working man who was over the slave. And then from there, you had the business owner. Just like today, you got the guy that mops the office, you got the guy that's making the sale in the office, and you got the guy that runs the office, and you got the guy that owns the office. It's the same concept. Slavery, 1.4% of the total population owned slaves. However many millions we could argue about that were here, only 1.4% of the population owned slaves. All right? Today, we have 1%, which is pretty much the same thing. About 1.4% of the population holds most of the world's wealth. It's the same type of thing, same thing. And part of that 1% is black people, just like it was during slavery. What we have to do, my people, is we have to put aside all the bullshit. We know, I'm on the side, my name is Mr. Davis Woodson. My name is Darren Davis Woodson on Facebook. All right? I know who I am. I know who my family is. I know the name may throw you off or whatever the case may be. My last name is Davis. And I just threw that. My friends call me the Black Jew. It's a long story. It's not a tag name or anything like that. I know who I am. I know I can trace my family back on both sides, which is great. You know, and I implore anyone else to do the same thing, so no one can tell you who you are. I know my great-great-grandmother. I know who she was. I know who her mother was. And we have been beat on account that they're going up for books. And they go for promotion, and they say, these people, you're ashamed to be African. They try to shame you into not being who you are.
That's right.
We just keep moving forward, and we have to move different from these folks. We can't do the same thing that the Pan-Africanists do, and the Moors do, and the Muslims do. We gotta be different. You know why? Because we on the side of the right. And we should move different because we know we are right. I know who my family is. Sister Phoenix Moon, you know who your family is. And you know who your family is. What's one of these scholars, Dr. John Henry Clark, who does not acknowledge his own history, cannot hold a candle to you, Sister Phoenix Moon, because the pride and sense in knowing who you are and what you trace back to, they can't compete with that. All right? So you ask Pan-Africanists and all these guys, why don't you move to Morocco? Why don't you move to Saudi Arabia, Mr. Muslim? Why don't you move to Morocco, Mr. Moore? Why don't you move to Africa, Mr. Pan-Africanist, and watch their face? Watch their face. You have cellular memory. Your cellular memory tells you that you're home without you even hearing the stories. Most of our people didn't hear the stories, and ones that do, a lot of them, they take it as, oh, he's trying to say his family, his background is Cherokee. Everybody got empathy in their family. You're afraid, you're ashamed to be African. Tell them to go back to Africa. But at the end of the day, how you do that is by just pushing the knowledge, man, let the people know who they are. If you can show them who you are, that's going to lead your neighbor want to find out who they are. So these videos where we showing how we tracing our background back, and I'm not talking about the BS DNA testing where they trace your lineage back. All right, I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that because at the end of the day, the reason why you can trace, if you can't trace us back through any type of genetic markers, the only reason is because so many of our people were sent over here to establish, over there.
That's right. That's okay. That's right.
Am I rambling?
No, you're hitting a very valid point. You're hitting a very valid point. I absolutely appreciate you. I do want to kind of give somebody else a chance to speak, but I love what you're talking about. You can always call back here, honey. I love that. You can talk that shit because that's what I'm talking about right there. I'm feeling you.
Absolutely. I just want to give you a shout out again, sis. Shout out to you again, brother Ad. And shout out to the movement. We gotta move different, people. I'm gonna close out with this. Listen, how we argue and how we fight is with the fact that we are right. That burns their soul that they have to refer to a book that somebody wrote 60, 80, 50 years ago, and you can just revert back to your actual family word of mouth.
That's right.
Just do what we're doing. Keep pushing the good fight. Keep fighting the good fight, folks. And I love everybody, man. Aboriginal power. All right, we are the soul people. Alma Rika is soul rich. Alma is soul, and Rika is rich. Remember that, people. We soul people. Peace. I love y'all.
Peace and love. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you made an excellent point.
You sure did. I respect that.
So many different points in there. Touched on the slave owner, touched on how your family history overpowers whatever John Henry Clark talking about. And Sinetta SANETA should not be existing. After this HR 1242, SANETA should not exist no more. As far as that Pan-African shit he talking, SANETA should not exist no more after everybody go back to Ghana. Like, there's no reason SANETA should be talking about, or you African, if you had this opportunity for you to go to Africa, go to Ghana with that Resolution 1242, there's no reason for you to still be talking about Africa. And there's no purpose behind it no more, because the United States gave you the opportunity to go back to Africa. So it's like, what is you still calling people African, or still trying to make them believe that, or that you were African slave? You had this opportunity in January to go move to Ghana forever. What is you still talking this shit on Harlem 125th Street for, if the United States gave you an opportunity, free ride to go to Ghana? But you still talking about, oh, we African brothers and sisters, no proof, no lineal connection, no lineage, providing or proving that. SANETA, the shit he talking about with the African shit, either he should not exist no more, or that aspect of what he talking about. Because when January comes, it exposes the capitalist intentions that SANETA had this whole time. It's either that you really believe that the shit that you talking about, that everybody African, or you just doing it for money. So January, the HR 1242 will prove SANETA just been doing this shit for money the whole time, or he been paid to be a gatekeeper the whole time, or he just really a religious Pan-Africanist. But I'm more inclined to believe that he a gatekeeper and he getting paid, and he just love the money. He just love for people to roll at these donations, and it ain't nothing personal. It is personal, but I'm saying, like, bro, on some real shit, you got the opportunity to go to Ghana in January, free ride from Donald Trump. He giving you a free plane ticket, some free room and board to go to live in Ghana for the rest of your life. What is you still sitting in America, sitting up on Harlem 125th Street for trying to convince everybody that they African, like you a missionary? And you got the opportunity in January to go move to Ghana forever. Because you the only reason, you, Jabari, Garfield, all y'all the only reason people still confused and distracted to not build with their family and find their lands, bro. You got that opportunity in January. That's it. If you're not in Ghana after January or in January, bro, shut that shit. Stop that we all African shit. And you got the opportunity to go move to Africa. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all really got to, like, start taking this shit, start taking life serious. You got other people's lives in your hands. You trying to dictate other people's destiny. You don't even look at it like that. You just look at it as, well, I'm going to call you an African. I don't like that Aboriginal shit you saying. So I'm going to keep trying to convince you that but you're trying to control other people's destiny. You got people, you putting people's lives in your hands when you just want to keep Africanizing them all people. But you don't realize that. You're not looking at it like that because you're not, I don't know if you're not capable of thinking or seeing it that way, but you got people's lives in your hands and you're destroying their livelihoods. You're destroying people's families, trying to convince people that they're African so they won't connect with their grandma or their mama, bro. Y'all should be, SANETA should be ashamed of himself, bro. And Garfield and Jabari up on that Pan-African tip. Y'all destroying families. You're destroying opportunity for people to build with their family. You're removing that opportunity from them. So after January, bro, if you're not in Ghana, no, it's like people need to be at your neck for real. If you ain't in Ghana in January, SANETA.
That's some real shit right there. That's some real shit, Johnny. Wow, that's some real shit. We have our last caller, and beloved Colorado, I'm gonna ask you to just keep it narrowed down to like 2 minutes so I can have Johnny close out the show. But thank you so much. I'm glad I got you on. I'm sorry I had to keep you there or else you would have lost your spot. Halito, thank you so much for calling.
That's what's up. How you doing, Phoenix? How you doing, Johnny? This is Copper Sun Dragon.
Hey, boo, what's happening, beloved?
Peace.
What's up? Record 719, baby. I got it to say, you get all these book gas motherfuckers that come on here talking all that, defend the African. Do you not understand that they sucking up the goddamn resources here? We barely get to get back on our feet and start figuring out what the fuck is going on. after waking the fuck back up, and I woke up to sleeping giant. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so now, everybody wants to be on this defensive mode, not goddamn motherfucking scholars, not to dig it up. They looking stupid. They looking real mighty stupid. They're pushing that agenda. And, you know, the thing I gotta say is, you know, people gotta wake up. And nobody's gonna do this work for you. You gotta put in your work. And, you know, like Daddy said, you gotta find out who your family is. You gotta find out what your background is, who your people are, because everybody's story is different. But we still are collectively one big family. You know, we still different. So we gotta still remember that shit. But, you know, it's not something handed to us. We gotta each individual do our own work. Each one. You know what I'm saying? And so the way I look at it is, you know, if we all collectively do our job, do our work, and do our diligence for our prosperity, you know, it'll be a particular, our children that are coming into the world. Our duty is to go ahead and pave the way and prepare for them. If we be some assholes, to leave them without direction. You feel what I'm saying? And so my thing is, we ain't got time to worry about nobody else's goddamn country. We got to get our shit together right over here. This is our shit.
That's right.
And we need to goddamn sit together and fight for it. We fight over the goddamn weed, hair nails, fucking all motherfucking people up, things like that. So we can't sit together, put this shit in order. Everybody do their job. And so you know how it is when they say, fellow people cry. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to be on CC time.
That's right.
Trying to get down with the kids out, trying to get real and they give about the business. You know what I'm saying? That's good, that's wrong. Stop respecting, stop defending other foreign nations. That's none of our business. Our business is right here in the Americas, and our job is to make sure that this shit is right for our posterity.
That's right.
That's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you very much. Peace and love. GK. All right, Johnny, bring us home, beloved. You got the floor right now. I'm so hyped that you was here. I think I would love to have you back again, especially after everybody cops these books and stuff that you got. And I can show you how I still can't stay in the lines all the time as a grown-ass motherfucker. I can't color that. But yes, take it home, boy. You got the last 5 minutes.
Sure. Well, just to continue on for another minute about what I was saying before, Sinetta and Umar Johnson. I forgot to mention Umar Johnson. This ain't no personal attack. The legal, political, economic attack. January is your opportunity to get out the way so we can have empowerment for our people to connect them back to the land as the original people. Y'all are in the way. We don't have time for people to continue to distract us with Pan-Africanism, more Morocco or Hebrew Israelites. It's time for people to connect back to their families so we can connect back to the land and empower ourselves with the land and our lineage. We need to build with our family. We need to find our genealogy. We need to educate our children. It's important. It's pivotal for us to educate our children with their own history, their own direct family history. Their history is not nobody else's. It's not another tribe's history. The Yamasee history is not the Cherokee history, or the Cherokee history is not the Choctaw history. Every family has their own history. Every family is crucial for every family to find out who their family is and their lineage, with movements or things, the things that your family actually did. So it's pivotal for us to find out who our family is. It's pivotal for us to educate our own children, like I'm trying to create with this curriculum, for us to educate our own children as parents, so we can be the source of our children's knowledge of self and children's development as being parents. And that's why I admire you so much, man. It's like for you to be a mother and have this capacity of being Aboriginal for your own children and your household. Like, I really admire that. And that's something that, that's inspiring me as I'm saying all this, or as I'm, creating all my books. Like, to see you in front in charge of your household, is something that every family needs to have, in an Aboriginal perspective. So run your household with an Aboriginal perspective. Nobody else could define, can control us, define our destiny, because that defines our destiny. That's right. That's all we need to do. Like, we just really need to step up as Aborigines and take back what's ours. Stop being afraid and do what we do. Do what we were supposed to do. Do what we was put here to do. It's our nature to be Aborigines. We not no colors. We are land-based people. We are soul people, but we also land-based people. Like, there's no identity and no liberation without land. No freedom without land. Like, you
That's
need
right.
to do anything in life. Land is your life. So we got to get back to the land, get back to our families.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Johnny, I thank you so much. This was a joyful situation for me. Next time, I hope we're in the same location so you can enjoy these margaritas that my mother put together. You should smack down on you do. I've just been sipping the whole night. But listen, Indians, I love y'all. Y'all so dope. Y'all handling them little fake ass goons in the goddamn chat. Or y'all admins, moderators with the wrench. Much love to y'all. Putting the chokehold on the oppressors. I appreciate y'all. All you beautiful ones with questions, answers, and concerns for our situation. Much love to you. I hope that clarity is something that is passed down and is contagious. I think y'all will dope. I feel strong. I feel like y'all are strong. I believe in y'all. I believe in this movement. I think we're in the right direction. I thank y'all so much. Again, Johnny Aborigine, this was such a pleasure to have you here. You just don't know. I just can't stress it enough. I appreciate you. I hope your books fly off the shelves. Cop them books, beautiful ones, www.johnnyaborigine.com. And if you like what you see on that website, you like the style, it's fresh, it's clean. Make sure you drop that message at African Americans Ain't African. You looking for information for the website. You heard it on the Phoenix Moon Show. Let it be known. Somebody will get back at you, and you're gonna be able to have your website looking fresh and clean, just like that. Or even better, however you want it. Do what you do. But I'm just really excited. We're looking forward to things. I hope the Pan-Flies get it together, and I hope the Indians never let it go. Never let it go again. Peace and love. Peace and love, Chike.
Peace.
Okay. Okay, wait. Now. Oh. Yeah. Y'all, so that was Phoenix Moon. And what they were discussing was how all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But I'm gonna move forward.
You're watching The Breakfast Club. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Right now, this is Empowered to the People for young business owners that have their own business. We have Jessica here. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
She is the owner of Kaleidoscope Hair Products.
Correct.
Now, if you don't know, we've seen it all over the internet. Just some of the people that have endorsed your product.
Oh, it's a list of them. We've had most recently Floyd Mayweather, Snoop, Black China,
Tammy
Rivera. We also had Tammy Roman. We've had Pam and Gina, Tashina Arnold, and
that's how you know you black.
Pam and Gina.
Pam and Gina. I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
DC Young Fly, Duval. I've worked with them.
Hey, Angela Yee.
Of course, you guys.
The Casey Crew, of course. Now, you gave Charlamagne some miracle droppers.
Correct.
Bring my headline back.
It can bring your edges back, Charlamagne.
Sure? Will it bring
Listen, don't think I'm out here doing all this for nothing.
Let's get Charlamagne his edges back.
I wouldn't even know what to do about it.
It helps your beard, your mustache, eyebrows.
And it smells good.
How'd you come up with this? When you start making?
Well, I was a full-time hairstylist, and I saw an epidemic of people that had hair loss, and whether it was man-made from them doing bad weaves or whether it was from like hereditary alopecia. So So I try to do what I could. That was the alternative from the pills and all the rest of it. And a good friend of mine had a team of chemists, and he kind of handed them over to me.
Wow. So now, how long you been doing this? How long you been doing the products and testing it? And how long does it take to test and actually really make sure it works?
We tested it for almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. For almost 2 years. But I've been doing it. It's been in retail for going on 4 years this year.
So when I first met you, I met you in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. It was a while ago. So I didn't even know you had that back then. I just remember meeting you, and what stood out about her was that she had like this bright color hair. Uh-huh. And so she kind of is, I think when you're branding a product, it is important to brand yourself as well. So I would never forget her because I remember meeting her and I remember what she looked like. And then I even posted a picture with her because I liked her look.
Right.
So how important is it for you? Because I see you put yourself also in the videos, and you've kind of created this little cult following with the videos that you've been doing.
Right. Cult is a bit much. I don't want people. I don't want to get the wrong.
Just say strong follow.
Right.
I mean, there's people that you get thousands
it's kind of like an army. It's kind of like an army.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
This is a huge responsibility when you say that.
I didn't mean that you are the head of a cult or anything, but it's just people that are dedicated to you and your products.
Well, yeah, for me, it was very important that I kept my face in it because I am the everyday person. Mm-hmm. And I wanted people to know that the everyday person can go after their dreams no matter what. It doesn't just take, I'm not college educated. And I mean, I'm not a dummy or anything. I'm not college educated, but look how far I've come.
Absolutely.
I'm 36 now, and I've been able to see a few millions off of just being very persistent, passionate, creative, and going against what everybody said I couldn't do.
Well, people don't realize the difference between education and certification. You can go to school and get all the degrees and stuff, but education is what you learn based off experience.
Right. I agree.
How hard was it to get it in the stores? Is that very difficult to get in the stores?
We actually
being African American.
It is difficult. Like right now, it's all about strategy. We've had an opportunity to get in big box stores, but I don't want to do the big box stores first. I don't want to prostitute it out. Right now, we in OTC stores, which is the over the counter stores, which are kind of mom and pop stores. And then so once you have that's urban area. Once you have that massively, then you kind of maneuver yourself into the big box stores.
Do you even need that now with the digital storefronts?
That's the thing. Like what I do, e-commerce has done great for me, but what I do in e-commerce, the stores, the actual stores duplicate. So once you talk about selling millions online by myself, then the store comes in and makes $1 million order.
Got you.
So yeah, the stores kind of make it almost like a virus. It just grows it as well.
Now, what are some of the challenges that you've had starting your own business? Because there's a lot of young entrepreneurs out there that are probably looking to start something. And I know for you, your experience is with hair care. Mm-hmm. So you saw a need for something, you developed it, and you put it out. But what were some of the challenges when you were doing that you learned now, looking back, this would have been easier if I would have did it this way?
For me, it's kind of similar to the challenges now, like being a female. Mm-hmm. Like oftentimes, I even had somebody that I work with recently say, well, who's sponsoring you? Who's backing you?
And
this is a talent that somebody that I paid said this while we were on set recording a video. Like, who's your sponsor? That's highly correct. Like, that was highly offensive. I just paid you $10,000 for 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. For us to record this video, and you asked me that. So I've also had difficulty where trying to work with males, by the Miracle Drops being female and male, working with males that shoot the stick. And then it always messes up from there. Like, I'm coming to give you, to work with you to get this creative content done, and that's it. And once they shoot they stick, it always goes left. So
shoot they stick means shoot they shot?
Yeah.
Or they try to holler at you.
I've never heard that phrase before, but I figured out what it meant when you said it.
Yeah, shoot the stick.
What about having the product, enough of it available? Because I'm sure with your orders, you couldn't really anticipate how many orders people would place and how successful it would be.
Well, I'm overly prepared. Mm-hmm. I'm that person. I got a warehouse that was 6,000 square feet and only need 2,000. And then we grew into it in 3 months.
Wow.
So I'm always overly prepared. Like once we had the opportunity for the stores, I made sure to bulk up on everything.
And staffing and everything, I'm sure that's also a process.
Every single last thing that there is. Staff, we talking about insurance, talking about everything.
What's the biggest cost?
Right now? Promotion.
What other products do you have? What other products do you have besides the Miracle Drops? I know the Miracle Drops is the big thing that most people are talking about. But
correct.
Besides that, what else do you have?
We have shampoos and conditioners. One is moisture, it's cake batter. It's the moisture shampoo and conditioner. We have the therapeutic shampoo and conditioner. We have Silk and Seal serum, which is an oil. Diamond Shine, which is an oil spray. Best Friend is a heat protectant spray.
I use that. Paris uses that on my hair all the time. When she does my hair, she sprays each section and then she styles it.
Smells good. Huh?
Yeah, it smells good.
I'm big on smell. We also have foam wrap. We have the milkshake, which is a leave-in detangling. It's great for kids as well. We have Edge Control, and I just released the Edge Control that has the Miracle Drops in it.
You know, because the bad thing, and I don't want to say the bad thing. The bad thing about it is a lot of people they think it's a gimmick. You know, like they compare it to the waist trainer or the flat tummy tea, and that was the same thing with me. I was like, nah, and then I tried the detangling in my daughter's hair,
right?
And I didn't try it. My wife tried it because I ain't combing nobody's hair, and it worked. So it's one of those things where you want to say it worked in with the shampoo and with the conditioner. It smells good. You can actually say it works. The Miracle Drop, I haven't tried yet because my shit is all right. But
so if I just put a drop on my hair and the hair will grow back
every other day, every other day, 14 days, and you'll see results.
What about on your eyebrows? A lot of people have some eyebrows.
Yeah, it's for eyebrows too. The only thing I don't suggest is lashes.
So wait a minute, you put that. How do you do? So explain to people how that works.
I'm not gonna do it to myself.
Really simple.
I'm gonna do it to my daughter. Like be pulling her hair out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop some that on her hair.
Yeah.
So you just drop it and you just rub it in, or
I suggest you apply it in the morning. Don't apply it before you go to sleep because it's gonna get in your pillow.
Okay.
So you apply it in the morning. Every other day, you massage it in, and then you just kind of let it do its magic.
Really?
Pretty much.
What's the secret ingredient that you can't tell?
It's a secret. I see you use Google AdWords too. I've been doing a lot of stuff with Google and talking about Google AdWords and how important that is for your business and for advertising. So
yeah, Google AdWords I did for a couple of years. I'm really big on social media marketing and social media strategy marketing with teaming up with the right people. Like I did a tour telling, kind of giving people some insight on what I've done and what I've learned. And very costly. You have to have the right content in the right place at the right time. Like one time I did somebody's page. It cost me $30,000 to do it. I didn't even make $3,000 back.
Wow.
It was a person that has a very provocative page, and since I have urban content, I thought it was gonna work, but it just was the wrong content, wrong page. So
did you start making money early? Or did you lose a lot when you first started?
The first month I didn't make anything. But by me being a full-time hairstylist, I had some financial backing. So I put a lot of money into it. I didn't start touching my profit until about 2 years in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do say it a lot of times with your own business. In the first couple of years, you aren't really going to see a return.
Right. I mean, I feel like I could have touched it, but it wouldn't have made. I was growing a business at a rapid pace.
Right.
So you had to really put some financial backing.
And you've been investing a lot into the marketing part of it and the social media part of it. You think social media is the new way to go now instead of doing like
storefronts are closing because of that?
Absolutely.
People are hiring. These big companies are reaching out to social media influencers. That's what we're called to market their product, because that's where you have a higher return. You have a quicker return. I've done television. I've done radio. I've done everything. But social media, if I pay somebody to post at 3:00, you see results.
You know what's so crazy? That's every industry nowadays. Even when you out here like trying to shop TV shows and stuff, they want to know how many Twitter followers you got, how many Instagram followers you got, because they know you got a built-in audience that you can reach right then and there.
Right.
And
they're really supportive if you do it right.
Is your product based only for African American and Latinos, or can white people use your product? Or
the Asian great thing about my product, I think that's the best part about it. It's for everybody. Everybody.
It doesn't matter what
aliens,
texture is.
everybody. Everybody.
Go get you some mayonnaise scented Miracle Drops for the Caucasians.
Now, how can people buy these products if they want to buy these products?
You can buy it online at www.ilovecolors, and love is spelled LUV, ilovecolors.com, or you'll see it in your local store.
Now, what do you see happening in the future for Kaleidoscope?
To infinity and beyond. I say that we're gonna go to probably by the end of the year, beginning of next year, we'll probably be in all stores.
Would you sell out? Would you sell like to a bigger company if they want to buy you up?
Not now. I'm still in the growing phase, and I know the value that it could become. So I might consider that in 3 to 5 years.
Word.
Yeah, I'm still milking it.
Okay.
Still milking it.
Still milking it.
All right. Who else do you want to team up with that you haven't teamed up with yet?
I would love, like, I'm really trying to work on. I have this wish list. I'm really trying to work on it. I would love like a Michelle Obama or something like a. I'm really trying to get Will Smith, like people like that. Like I want to.
If I could see Michelle Obama in one of them videos,
but that's the thing, though. It doesn't have to be funny because I feel like I'm also connected to women empowerment, and that's what she's about as well. So I just want it to be like girl power.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
All right, Michelle Obama's on the list. Will Smith is on the list.
Yeah.
And Charlamagne. We get Charlamagne here.
I'm going to get Charlamagne.
I'm letting it go, baby. My hairline trash. You know what I'm saying?
Might
Get a
come
ball
back.
head.
Your hair come back, bro. Woo.
He must not have a cut today. That's why he got that hood on.
Yeah, I'm going to get
I know. I could tell.
You can use it on your beard. I mean, listen, it can be nice and full. We're going to work together, Charlamagne. Whether you like it or not.
I'm with that. I'm all listening.
We're going to work together. I've been trying to get at you for a minute. I was able to get these two. You know, I was going to wind up knocking at your door. You know,
I'm all about Black empowerment. I'm with that.
Okay.
Figure it out.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And go pick up the hair products again. Where can they get it one more time?
The website is www.ilovecolorslUV.com.
All right. Well, it's Jessica. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! Hold on now. Excuse me. Okay. So, I like the owner of Kaleidoscope because of the energy she puts out there. I didn't start following her until after I had been following her friend for a while. And yeah, she puts out a certain energy. And it's the divine feminine that's back into play. And that's something that can be astrologically proven. It's time. I advise you, and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm cleaning up my office. I'm cleaning the whole energy in here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and just spray paint the desk that I have. I wanted a new desk. This is like real wood. So I think I'm just gonna color it another color and move forward because we gotta start making our stuff last. Anyway, I encourage you all to work on whatever projects that you've been saying that you want to blossom. If you don't take advantage of this energy, that's on you. I want to remind you to go over to Patreon, to my Patreon, and show me some love over there. Let me go to my page because I'm going to wipe this channel, and I don't know how I'm doing it. If it's gonna make all the videos private or just wipe it clean. This will always be my channel because I've had it the longest. But I want to hold on. I thought I was there. Hold on, y'all. I had to do something else. I got like 50 pages open now. One with my stuff on it. It'll probably be, like I said, to wipe the channel and start uploading some of these videos, some of them, not the ones that other people's channels that I've shared, but just wipe this one and upload some of my research videos to my Patreon. But I'll just be gone, and I'm telling you, I'm going to keep this channel because I'm going to link it and sometimes come on here and of course vlog because this is my personal channel. Come over here and do that, but all my work related stuff will be on the other channel. Yeah, I'm cleaning. I got someone. I am purging. When you purge, you make room for other things to start to happen in your life. A lot of people don't get that. You have to give up some things to make room for some things, and you have to always be paying attention to yourself. I realized that once I took my crystals, my amethyst and my quartz crystals out of my office, I stopped being able to just be in my office, which is a problem if you are a business owner. This is where the business happens. So I scheduled a appointment, a call with Sister Stone, Aphrodite Stone, and she told me to clean everything with ammonia. And at first I was like, no chemicals, but my homegirl told me that somebody told her that ammonia gets rid of negative spaces. And she said, just try it because you'll be able to tell, you can feel the energy, how different the energy is once you do that. So I went out and bought some and I cleaned the whole house. And I'm just making room for what's about to be going on now. When you hold on to all this stuff from your past, then your whole existence becomes holding on to stuff from your past. And then you're living in something like a loop. You don't know how you got there. You don't know how to get away from the loop. And so you're just stuck there. And that is common in our community. I see in not just see, I know firsthand for self, first of all, but I see and know this to be true from the people that I encounter. Yeah, I don't know why this is showing this. Let me see. Oh, because I'm sharing screen. Okay, so now I know. Gonna go on here. And don't forget to go over to Patreon. I will be continuously coming back to this channel to tell you to go over to Patreon. Y'all go over here and show me some love. The lowest tier on here. And let's see. I'm going to just go back into creative mode, create my products. And like I said on my Patreon, I'll be able to share my recipes for my product. If you would like, this is my newest recipe, new do-it-yourself toothpaste recipe. This is the second one I uploaded on my Patreon. When you become a Patreon, you have access to those videos, and you don't have to stick to the recipes. You can twerk them to make them what you like. And I have a $6 tier. Let's see. 907 tier. It's 3 tiers and one is what? Okay, $3. Yeah, $3, 6, and 9. So come on over here. This is where my recipes will be available to those that want to become a Patreon. And I thank you. Shout out to my Patreons. Y'all, thank you for y'all patience. I am coming back with a bang. I'm just purging and cleansing, and then I will be back in effect, full effect. Got a couple of new recipes. Like I said, in the background, I'm working on my new labels and just the stuff that I need, to revamp my business. So yeah, and don't forget, check out my website. This is PayPal if you like to donate, and this is my Instagram. Let's see if these buttons work. Because one time I put all my buttons up there and they weren't working. So if you're on YouTube and you start linking your other social media, remember to check your links. Because you'll think you're set and then it doesn't work and you're like, what's happening? Yeah. You can follow me on IG. I read so much about this. This is Trump explains why he doesn't get the flu shot. And then after getting the flu shot, a New York State senator gets sick for 2 weeks and then he died. That was wild. So, I'll go back over here. Yeah. Maybe it's here. Yep. Like I said, the donate button. And then what else is up there? I tried to link my identification link for Aphrodite Stone's social platform on her website. If you go over there, you can become. Yes. Go lay down. Don't go lay down. She has a platform where you can communicate with each other. You all right? Yeah, you need to go to bed, lay down, and don't get back up. It's way past his bedtime. Wait. I just gave him a kiss. He came back here. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, you can go over to her website and she has a social link where you can create an account. That's where the Sedona family is. Shout out to everybody that went on the Sedona trip with Aphrodite Stone. We had a blast. We did. And we made it back, and we are I'll say fertilizing relationships. So I still talk to a few of you. Or actually text. I talk to one of you, and then I'll text, a few of you. And it's all love, I'll take it however I can get it. Y'all have to realize that sometimes you have to allow new energy in your life. And I wish I can play my reading on here. Y'all, I do not feel like it because I will have to log into my email. Let me see. I want to share with y'all my reading. Don't forget to go to Instagram. Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to go to Patreon. I'm closing all these out. I got to stop sharing my screen first. Okay. I'm going to play my reading for y'all. It's very short and brief and to the point, and then I'm going to get out of here. Gotta go. Oh, I can't do it on here anyway. It's so weird when you have Google open on your computer. It tries to interfere with a web page that isn't Google. I got a reading from Hood Mystic that I got a natal chart done, and I paid more attention to the natal chart than I did the reading. And then I listened to the reading. I'm like, why didn't I listen to this seriously about 4 or 5 months ago? That was crazy. And it was like on point. When I said it was on point, it was on point. I love her cleaning out these home warranties. I keep home warranties, and it was so many. And so much stuff I just recently gave away. So I can like I said, organizing some stuff. What's happening? I'm gonna pull it up. Y'all can hear this, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. What just happened? Oh, Google taking over again. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so concentrated. I'm sitting looking at the screen like I can make it go. wiping everything down. Like I said, with ammonia, it clears negative energy. And it might clean it too, I don't know. But it's clear negativity. And then of course, all of my stones and stuff, I haven't had them in position. You can just tell the difference in my office when the stones weren't front and center. It's like it helps me to hustle. So yeah, I had to go get my stones out my bedroom. Like the bedroom is for resting. And even though I like that amethyst in there, in my office, it makes me not so much just want to rest, like lay down, but it gives me a calming. I have the nerves to sit down long enough to get something done, because for real, I got a short attention span. And so I'll come in here, like I told y'all, since I've been here and the snake was in my office, just all of the above, I have not been wanting to sit in here. I just could not sit down for long periods of time. And I know it's unhealthy, but I just wasn't able to be productive. I mean, I've never seen so many warranty papers. I really got a problem. I just don't want to get rid of them and then need them. Or the instructions, something come apart and I no longer have the instructions. Okay. Thank you. Attachments. Here it comes, y'all. Let me see if y'all bear with me. I'm coming. I came in here to wipe the furniture down, and now I'm going through papers and stuff. I'm like, I might as well purge everything. That way I know I can be working on another room in the house. Sit in here and try to get done. And then move on to the next project. Okay. Let me see. Oh, hold on. I think I found it. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Like I said, it's short, it's straight to the point.
Peace, Nina. It's the Hood Mystic. For your reading, since I wasn't able to talk to you, I just did a bonus tarot spread for you and trying to go through some things, 12 areas of your life, and just going over these cards just as a bonus, something for you to listen to. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not, but just something to think about. All right. So the first thing that I see is that your mind is kind of split. Possibly there are multiple perspectives of love interest, and you're trying to figure out which way to go. When it comes to finances, think more of investing as opposed to spending. For your money to grow, you have to kind of consciously think about what's actually happening with it. So if you're consciously growing your money, that's what it will do. If you're spending your money, then you'll feel like you're losing it. Ultimately, the spirit and the energy of wealth is surrounding you now. So be sure to implement it in your daily life and just in your active thought process. In the home, there may be something going on where you may need to think about moving or may thinking about shifting that energy somewhere. Maybe there is a toxic relationship in the home that needs to be sorted out, something to think about. And when I started this, I spoke about being confused about relationships. Maybe there is a person that is more constituted into you feeling emotionally high and you feeling good, and then there's another person that is like more business orientated and can kind of lead you to more of a blissful existence, and the other person is more of like a blissful moment. Just something to think about. In work, I would be mindful to be overworked and doing things that you generally don't have to do. Make sure you're doing things that you want to do. Take control of your life. Don't split your time between two things like work and trying to start a business. Kind of focus more on your business. Kind of invest more time and energy into your business, because that's more of your salvation. Partnership, you're going to have a blissful, fortunate union with a mate. This could be something that is happening now or in the process of happening. So just more or less kind of deal with what you need to deal with in the present, so you can either clear that space or begin to focus more on that relationship. Within you, there's a lot of strength, gifts, a lot of destiny tied up into your existence. I've been through negativity for the sake of experiencing this ultimate bliss and this ultimate happiness. You have the keys and you have everything in your favor. It may be important that you cut off old people who don't align with your greatness and the great things that you're hoping to accomplish. You need to create a new story, and part of creating that new story is creating new friends. And it doesn't matter if you just met them a week ago. Generally, you have to kind of be in the moment with creating your life. Ultimately, you must face the fact that you are here to transform, you're here to evolve, you're here to live your best life. And so it's time to now implement some of those things that you already know and start to incorporate it and apply it in your daily life and allow transformation to take place. Don't try to control life. Let life guide you to where it needs you to be. And so that was just a bonus tarot reading. If you're interested in something more in depth, be sure to contact me. I thank you for your purchase. And just as a gratitude for that purchase, just giving you this free tarot reading. Be sure to get back with me. Let me know if this was accurate, something you resonated with or not. I just appreciate you. So have a pleasant evening, night, day, whenever you find this message.
One more time for those way in the back. Yeah, this was so on point. I'm gonna drink some water. Just that was like deep. Honestly, I'm just now hearing this maybe 2-3 days ago, because like I said, I focused more on the natal chart. And it's weird that I did that, because honestly, I didn't understand the natal chart. I mean, I put major focus. I skipped all over this pertinent information. And now I feel like I'm like months behind. I know everything's divine timing, but I just feel like I'm behind, because I should have really listened to this and took this in, been able to digest this. It was weird. But now we're here. And I want to shout out my new friends. You know who you are. I decided, a while back, I was going to open myself up to meeting new people. And that was fine until I started drawing in people that don't necessarily support the things that they are saying they support. Like if you are for small businesses, small melanated businesses, then that will be reflected in your spending habits, in your everyday life. You could tell. And like I said, by going to Judy and Super Sense Instagram, what I admire about those people, those group of people, is that they are friends that supported each other for the come up of everybody. So they were posting each other's stuff. They were spinning with each other, promoting with each other. All the stuff you're supposed to do when you're friends with a business owner. Now, one of them, I think Super, she say, don't put the burden of wanting your friends and your family to promote your stuff, pay for promotion. I get that, but the type of friend I am, you don't even have to ask. It's like a given. If I get goods or services from you, I'm going to show you some love. I'm going to shout you out. And, even if people don't align with what it is that I believe, that's fine. I'm just not going to allow anybody, and this is anybody, I'm not going to allow anybody to be in my space that I'm not like-minded with, and so that will cut out a lot of the riffraff. People don't speak on riffraff. You can't have a circle of 15 people and none of them think to promote your business ever, because unless they're working on their own business, which is seldomly the case. And I say that because, then you just got quantity. You don't have quality around you. And I'm not going to be apologetic for that. I see these girls, they on social media, it's like 6 of them. I thought it was just 2, then I thought it was like 3. It's like 6 of them. And all of them are up and coming small business owners turned billionaires, and they supported each other through it all. It's just no excuse, none whatsoever, not to support your family and friends. And Super Sense, she was saying, all the people that supported her in her decisions, business or elsewise, those are the people that she celebrates. And who can get mad? Who can get mad? And I want to shout out those of my family and friends that do support me, that do promote my stuff on their page. Shout out to you. I have nothing but love for you. You don't have to do what you do. So I really, 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 really appreciate that. I do. I think that's it. I'm gonna play this one more time though, because I need to hear it again.
Peace, Nina. It's the Hood Mystic. For your reading, since I wasn't able to talk to you, I just did a bonus tarot spread for you and trying to go through some things, 12 areas of your life, and just going over these cards just as a bonus, something for you to listen to. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not, but just something to think about. All right, so the first thing that I see is that your mind is kind of split. Possibly there are multiple perspectives of love interest, and you're trying to figure out which way to go. When it comes to finances, think more of investing as opposed to spending. For your money to grow, you have to kind of consciously think about what's actually happening with it. So if you're consciously growing your money, that's what it will do. If you're spending your money, then you'll feel like you're losing it. Ultimately, the spirit and the energy of wealth is surrounding you now. So be sure to implement it in your daily life and just in your active thought process. In the home, there may be something going on where you may need to think about moving or may thinking about shifting the energy somewhere. Maybe there is a toxic relationship in the home that needs to be sorted out. Something to think about. And when I started this, I spoke about being confused about relationships. Maybe there is a person that is more constituted into you feeling emotionally high and you feeling good, and then there's another person that is like more business orientated and can kind of lead you to more of a blissful existence, and the other person is more of like a blissful moment. Just something to think about.
That was fun.
In work, I would be mindful to be overworked and doing things that you generally don't have to do. Make sure you're doing things that you want to do. Take control of your life. Don't split your time between two things like work and trying to start a business. Kind of focus more on your business. Kind of invest more time and energy into your business, because that's more of your salvation. Partnership, you're going to have a blissful, fortunate union with a mate. This could be something that is happening now or in the process of happening. So just more or less kind of deal with what you need to deal with in the present, so you can either clear that space or begin to focus more on that relationship. Within you, there's a lot of strength, gifts, a lot of destiny tied up into your existence. I've been through negativity for the sake of experiencing this ultimate bliss and this ultimate happiness. You have the keys and you have everything in your favor. It may be important that you cut off old people who don't align with your greatness and the great things that you're hoping to accomplish. You need to create a new story, and part of creating that new story is creating new friends. And it doesn't matter if you just met them a week ago. Generally, you have to kind of be in the moment with creating your life. Ultimately, you must face the fact that you are here to transform, you're here to evolve, you're here to live your best life. And so it's time to now implement some of those things that you already know and start to incorporate it and apply it in your daily life and allow transformation to take place. Don't try to control life. Let life guide you to where it needs you to be. And so that was just a bonus tarot reading. If you're interested in something more in depth, be sure to contact me. I thank you for your purchase.
All right. So y'all heard it here first. That was the brother Hood Mystic. He did me a free tarot reading after I had paid for a what do you call it? Natal chart. And like I said, instead of paying attention to what he was saying and emphasizing on that, I paid attention to the natal chart, and it paid off, because now I'm moving into a phase of being able to understand my natal chart. At first, I just could not get it because I did not put in the time or the work to understand the signs and symbols. And so, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm like literally stuffing warranties back in their paper, and it's loud. I'm sorry. Okay. So that was that. I just did that, sitting here kicking it with y'all. I'm almost done. I'm gonna wipe, like I said, continue to wipe everything in here down. What I'll be doing one by one is my office furniture is a wood color, and that's cool, but I think I need to lighten the vibration in here. So I'm going to spray paint the furniture. And y'all know the spray paint is not look good. We redid some mirrors that I had came up on one of my routes for Amazon when I was working for them. And we got these matte, not the shiny spray paint. We got the matte spray paint and did them, and they are beautiful. They fit perfectly what we needed them to be. Beautiful. We put them up and installed them, you know. I am going to start back lighting my tea light candles in here. I used to light candles in my office every time I come in here. Like really set the tone and the mood. And I got my pink salt lamp sitting here. Just get it back together and to the point where the vibration in here helps me to achieve my business goals. It's time. Everything is indicating it's time. Everything in my life right now is being shifted around. Even those around me, my husband's shift just changed. And I'm grateful for that because now, you know, I know at a certain time I can be in my office trying to move this thing forward. And I'm about to start homeschooling like soon. So everything is just shifting around to fit what we have going on versus us having to move around and fit what the world has going on. Because that's what's been happening, honestly. I'm excited. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming in. I am very excited. Very. When I say very, very. I'm going to take these knobs off of my desk. The knobs that are on my desk in the office function. I'm going to redo those, you know, just to bring everything up to date. It'll still be antique, but we'll bring it on forward and, you know, into the future. I'm going to watch a couple of do-it-yourself videos, how to redo furniture, of course, and add a little pizzazz to it. I don't want everything to be one color. I don't want every piece of furniture to just be one color. I want two colors. Yeah, and maybe even add some sparkles. I need to really get into this goddess energy. And I've never been a girly girl, but I've always admired girly girls. Not, oh, I want to be like you, but just admired them for taking out time to take care of themselves, if that makes sense. It takes time. And whether we want to shade wig wears or makeup wears or not, it takes time to do your makeup. It takes time to do your hair. And I think when we practice what I call a beauty ritual, you getting yourself together, not every day, but quite often, just to go out into the world, to show up in the world and for people to remember you. I remember listening to the interview and what the girl said was she remembers meeting her because she had like different color hair and she was rememberable. This bottom line, whether it be the color of the hair or the personality. I've never been a colored hair person, but then I started liking purple and I was wearing all my braids and twists and stuff. So I get it. I get it. We just want to feel and look feminine. The divine feminine is coming back into power. It's here. It's not coming in the next year, in the new year. It's here. The divine feminine has aligned astrologically months ago. Around this time of the year, a lot of people are depressed. So, you know, you sit and wallow in your own defeat, so to speak. But it's time. It's time for you to use this time not to be depressed, but to clean out every area of your life that you can make room in. I started in, what room was I in? I started cleaning out my, was it my closet? No, I got to go back in there. It's not the closet. What was I? The kitchen. Was it the kitchen? It might have been in here. Was it in here? I started cleaning out wherever I sit down at in my house. I start going through stuff and purging. Like really getting rid of stuff that I'm holding on to for no reason. Just holding on just to be holding on. Therefore, I don't have to get ready to be ready. I can go in on this energy. Once I get everything clean, I'm going to go back on the water fast. Once I get I'm in my office right now, and I think this is where I started because I'm looking around trying to see how much stuff is being purged out. Yeah, I started here in my office. I cleaned out my desk drawers. Like I said, I'm going through these warranties. Next, I'll be going through paper. I don't like to get rid of paper. And like if I bought a notebook and I didn't finish all the paper out of it, I like to keep it. I'm just gonna go through and get rid of all this stuff. It's like living in a place of lack. You don't want to get rid of it because if you never had it before, in your mind, it's like you being wasteful. So you hold on, and then before you look up, you got like 20 notebooks that you done wrote in a couple of pages or halfway through, however many. And that's not healthy. That's hoarding, like literally. So I'm going through, like I said, making room for increase. We're going to get all this stuff out of here. I'm starting here. Next room, I'm going to just go room by room, will be my bedroom. I'm going to go through my clothes again. All of the stuff that I cannot wear to a dinner, a business meeting, or a seminar. A dinner, a business meeting, a seminar, and date night. Those are the 4 things. If I can't wear it to those 4 things, then it's coming out of my closet. And I'm going to write it down right now so I won't forget. Dinner, if I can't wear it to dinner, if I can't wear it to a business meeting, date night, or a seminar. Well, business meeting would be seminar. So if I can't wear it to dinner, date night, or business meeting, I'm going to get rid of it. If it is fighting against my divine feminine, any of these clothes, if it's fighting against my femininity, my feminine side, that softness, I'm going to get rid of it. So that'll be a lot of clothes. Get rid of it, pass it on. I had been holding on to some clothes that somebody gave me, and I was waiting for my mom to come down so that I could give her some of them. That's no longer playing. Anything that I was given that I cannot fit, I'm getting it up out of here. It's just holding up space. And then I have to make room for my weight loss journey and my health journey. So you have to give up those old clothes. I was telling my homegirl, it's funny, you keep your clothes and you be up and down in your weight, and you don't want to get rid of your old clothes because you know that you're up and down in your weight, which puts you in a place of going up and down in your weight instead of just getting rid of it and making a commitment not to gain that weight back. And I don't know how many of you fight with your weight or whatever, but what else? Once I finish my room, I'm gonna go ahead into my seeds room and get rid of a lot of his stuff. All those toys, you don't need 100 million toys. Like, we're gonna get rid of some more of his stuff. And then I'm going to my towel closet, because it's stuff that we just keep generally. I don't need 100,000 towels. I have towels that I've had for years. Now they don't even make good towels like they used to. If you got some of these newer made towels, they made with polyester when our towels used to be cotton. I'm not going to get rid of all of them, but I am going to get rid of some of them. And then, like I said, just keep going through the house until I clear out that energy. And as I go, and I'm getting this stuff in order, I'm taking ammonia and wiping everything down. And that's cleansing the energy so that once I get all that done, I can go into my fast with confidence. But what I'm excited most about is like spray painting this. Yeah, excited about that. So I hope you got it. What I won't be doing is saving this video. Or should I? Maybe it'll be up here. Hell, because the New Year's almost here. So yeah, I'll keep it up here for a minute. Like I say, all my videos on here will be private. Come the Gregorian New Year, not the real New Year. A peace and power to everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Not gonna be long-winded. I gotta watch me some do-it-yourself videos. So until we meet again.